Okay, Advanced Higher, we're going to look at the design course now. The design course is made up of 3 different elements. The first one is your practical design work, which is worth 64 marks. This is your main folio of work, and it needs to follow a single area of study in order to gain marks, so such as jewellery or fashion, architecture or interior. You'll be expected to produce a sketchbook in addition to other 2D or 3D artworks up to a minimum of 8 A1 sheets and a maximum of 15 A1 sheets worth of work. It's actually easier to produce 15 A1 sheets than you would think because your sketchbook is included in this total. The next part of the course is your critical analysis, which is worth 30 marks. This will take the form of an essay/dissertation on your personal research into the work of a designer. The work you study needs to relate to your practical work and have informed your own folio. Finally, your evaluation, which is 6 marks. You've all done an evaluation before, so you know exactly what this looks like. You'll be provided with a sheet at the end of the course, and you should critically evaluate your effectiveness over the course of the year. Your practical design work, which is the main part of your portfolio and which will also inform your portfolio for your university applications. You will need the following. So you need a strong title for your folio, and you'll need to come up with your own design brief. Your design brief can change throughout the year if it needs to. It's not set in stone, so don't worry about that. And then you've got your first sheet of your folio to think about. This is your context sheet. It should show images from your initial research and investigation. This sheet sets the scene for the rest of your folio, so it should be attention grabbing. You could include things like stimulus for your inquiry, for example, images of a designer's work, photos that you've taken or collected, drawings and studies that you've done of initial development ideas or drawings of your inspiration, samples of things that you might have made. The main part of your portfolio is your body of practical work, which shows further development and resolved final outcomes. And with Advanced Higher, you can have more than one final outcome. You can have up to 3 if you need. The work should be mounted on A1 sheets or should be presented in your sketchbook and should include skillful use of materials, techniques or technologies, evidence of creative and effective use of the visual elements, evidence of well-conceived ideas for design work showing visual coherence and continuity. I'd just like to take a minute to look at that word continuity again. So you'll remember from National 5 and higher, this meant that your folio looked the same and had the same feel throughout. That is not the case with the Advanced Higher. It simply just means that if you start looking at fashion design, you can't suddenly decide halfway through your folio that you're a graphic designer. Evidence of a sustained creative inquiry and development leading to the creation of a design which meets the requirements of your design brief that you have set. Your essay, which is worth 30 marks. I'm not going to read this entire list to you, but needless to say that if you follow this list, you'll be able to write 2,000 words absolutely no bother at all. For 15 marks of your essay, you need to talk about things that have inspired that designer to work and talk about their influences and the context in which they work in. And then for another 15 marks, you will analyse a single piece of work or a closely related group of works from that designer. And that's exactly the same way that you would have analysed a piece of work in National 5 and higher. So you should be an expert at that by now. Some top tips. So this just breaks down the marks even further, gives you more things to think about writing about. I'll let you read that in your own time. And then finally, your evaluation. Your evaluation can take the form of the sheet that you'll be provided with, but you will also be able to annotate your pieces of work. So that's just leaving little notes all over your folio to direct the markers and the interviewers to specific pieces of work. And that's it. Here's the folio in pretty much a nutshell. 15 A1 sheets, a 2,000 word essay, and a free 100-word evaluation.